Hey guys, it's Cobalt here, and welcome back to another video. About a year ago now, I actually made a video where I 3D printed my own custom LPS. Here it is, and since that video, I've also made a few other 3D projects, and I actually have a playlist up on my channel for all of my 3D printing related videos. But, you know, that got me thinking, because you can 3D print an entire LPS, what's stopping you from 3D printing parts for your LPS, such as a neck peg? Especially with the old Generation 2 LPS, over time, they have been known to get extremely rusty and even break, which is super unfortunate and annoying, especially if you're an LPS customizer and you're trying to do a head swap and then the peg just stops working. It's a nightmare. But luckily, I was recently contacted by an account over on Instagram that goes by the name of Winnie's Minis, and they're a shop that sells just that, 3D printed neck pegs for your LPS. So they were kind enough to reach out to me and send me a package to review for you guys for free of their neck pegs, and they're currently for sale up on their Etsy shop, which I will put a link down below in the description. So without further ado, let's take a look at this package and see if these pegs are really worth it. So here's the package. Right off the bat, there is some adorable artwork of their mascot and profile picture. I love this so much, and I will definitely be saving it. Oh, wait, you can't even see it, but there's a really cute drawing. Hang on. Guys, look at that. Inside the box, there is a super freaking cute picture of Cobalt. I was not expecting that. Thank you so much. It says, "Dear Cobalt, I'm a big fan and wanted you to test our new 3D printed pegs. More information about our pegs on the back. Fan art for you from Winnie's Minis." That is so cute. I love that. Thank you. Inside the box, there is another little message along with the pegs here and some tweezers that I think will help us actually attach them to an LPS. But anyways, there are some more cute little LPS drawings up here. I think these are probably their mascots, and it says, "Our pegs are 3D printed replicas of authentic Littlest Pet Shop pegs. They can be used for replacing broken or damaged pegs or for making your own LPS at home. For instructions regarding replacing and fixing damaged pegs with our pegs, please go to our YouTube account for tutorials and instructions." From Winnie's Minis. So I will be linking their YouTube, their Instagram, and as I already mentioned, their eBay shop in the description below, so you can go check out all this information and their products for yourself. But anyways, here is a closer look at everything that was in the package. Again, some tweezers to more easily put them inside the LPS. Usually I use pliers, but tweezers are great as well. It looks like we have two different size pegs because some LPS have different sizes than others. So these are the smaller ones, like the kinds that you would see in mice or dragonflies. I mean, they move like actual pegs. If you look closely, you can see the print lines. So they're done with like a PLA printer as opposed to a resin printer. And the print lines are on the actual white plastic here, as well as the peg, which is made from a different clear plastic. I know there's a lot of people in the LPS community who prefer the clear pegs over the white pegs, so I think that's a neat touch. Now let's take a look at the bigger ones. I think these bigger pegs are definitely more common. They're found in like Great Danes, Collies, things like that. Here's how they look on the bottom. Again, they appear to be made the exact same way. The quality feels pretty nice. They feel sturdy, but I will be testing them and stress testing them to see how sturdy they actually are. Again, here are both of them next to each other, and there's an actual metal spring on the inside, just like a normal LPS. So now I'm going to take these and attempt a peg swap with two different LPS and see how well it goes. I'm definitely not the most experienced when it comes to peg swaps. And again, I know they said they had a tutorial on their website, but I'm just going to try it myself and see if I can do this without any instructions, and hopefully I don't accidentally break anything. Alright, so here is the pet that I'm going to be working with for this peg swap. You may recognize this LPS. It is a damaged, authentic Great Dane base that I got at a thrift store, and I really want to fix him up because I would love to have this LPS in my collection. So aside from, you know, the damaged ear and missing legs, as you can see, his peg is pretty rusty. You can see the orange rust in there, and then also the peg is stuck, so it doesn't even really bobble. Like, if you look at this, I can't even really pull it out to get it to work again. So I figured that the first step of fixing this guy up would be to swap his peg. So I'm going to do that now and fix up the rest of him in a separate video. But when I swap pegs, I always start off by putting the head back in some boiling water. We do not need this body anymore, and I'm going to get our new pegs ready. So as you can see with a little comparison, this peg here is one of the larger sizes, so we're going to be replacing it with that. Alright, so here's both of the pegs. I'm going to be pretty rough with this swap so we can really see if it will test the durability, but then of course I do have my backup one just in case I break it. I also have pliers to help me get it in, and finally I also always like to use a bit of super glue to glue the peg in place inside the head, just so that I can make sure I can actually get it back into the body. Okay, I think this guy has boiled for long enough. This water is super hot. Gonna take him out, make sure that there is no more water inside of his head, and you can see he is now squishier than a G7 LPS. Wow, look at that. Alright, so since he is now so squishy, we should be able to just pop this right on in here. This is where the pliers come in handy. Just gonna try to work it in there without pushing it all the way into the head, which is kind of something that I always end up doing with peg swaps, which is exactly why I do not do them very often. Okay, so I just kind of wiggled it around a little bit, and I think I got it in a good position that I want. He's still a little bit soft, so I'm just going to let him sit off to the side while he cools off. You can even put the head in a freezer, that's what I do sometimes. And then we'll try and see if we can stick it back on a body. As you can see, I was definitely being pretty rough with the peg. It doesn't look like I damaged it or anything. I definitely didn't break it. It's still like pushing in and out pretty well. I just kind of scratched it up a little bit, but it's 3D printed plastic. It's obviously going to behave differently than the authentic plastic. I think this is so far seeming pretty sturdy, and even with this one that I haven't used, if I put it between some pliers, I'm squeezing like as hard as I can right now and really didn't leave any marks. So these things are definitely super strong. I would say the most fragile seeming part is probably the actual peg itself, but even that seems really sturdy, so I'm super impressed by that. And honestly, it's in there pretty well. I don't even think I'm gonna need to use the super glue to reinforce it, but normally I would just put a little bit of glue here on the edge of the rim just to secure it into the head more. But let's see if we can just try putting it back on the body. So obviously this is not the body that's going to stay with this Great Dane forever, but it's the only one that I have right now, so I'm just going to see if I can put his head back on his original body. Alright, got the body plastic heated back up. I just kind of use the pliers to sort of open the neck hole a little bit more and push it right in. Kind of helps to like wiggle it around. Okay, I got it on. Oh wow, okay, and he's totally bobbling. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am actually so impressed. I did not think that it was going to work out this well. Okay, these pegs are literally awesome. Originally, this was the only LPS I was going to try peg swapping, but since I am so impressed by this guy, I'm actually going to try a different pet, and we can use one of the smaller neck pegs as well. Alright, so after looking through my smaller LPS, I think I've decided on this mouse for the peg swap. Her bobble is honestly pretty good. There's really nothing wrong with her, but she is quite rusty in the neck peg area, so I figured this would be a good chance to freshen her up. And of course, let's start off by boiling her alive. So here's what we're working with. I'm going to put the head back in the water so I can soften it up again as I drop everything for the millionth time. But as you can see, this peg was just so rusty and disgusting, and there's even some rust stains on the body, which I definitely need to clean off. Now let's put in the new little tiny peg. Uh-oh, that is not good. Alright, so I got the second peg in. This one was definitely harder to get in just because like this mouse's head is so small, there's less surface area for me to work with, but I did manage to get it in. You can see I kind of like chipped off a little bit more pieces of the peg itself, but it's still super sturdy, and this is just proof that you should not take my advice on how to do this. Definitely go and follow Winnie's tutorials. Again, I'm linking that and all of their other stuff in the description down below. So now let's stick this head back on the body and see if it is an improvement to the original peg. So here she is, all fixed, better than ever, good as new. I don't really think that many people would go out of their way to head swap a mouse. I mean, I definitely wouldn't, but I just wanted to try and see if it is possible, and her head is even more bobbly than it was before. So these pegs are a 10 out of 10, perfect recommendation from me. Definitely go check out Winnie's shop and see all of the things that they have to offer. Once again, huge thank you to Winnie's Minis over on Instagram for sending me these amazing 3D printed LPS pegs to review. I really appreciate it, and I am so impressed with what you have made. So I think a lot of people in the LPS community, especially LPS customizers and collectors, are really gonna love these products. Once again, everything is linked down below in the description. Thank you guys all so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!